everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. So, this is hilarious. Perhaps one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. So, Tim Pool says that Republicans overall are better looking than Democrats physically. Like, the guys are taller, they tend to have like chiseled faces, and the women are, they're smoker chicks with great bodies, and the Democrats are fat and frumpy. Now, this is coming from Tim Pool. Tim Pool. Do you know what Tim Pool looks like? One of the ugliest guys on planet Earth. All right. So now listen, I don't want to be mean, but Tim Pool opened himself up to this. And let me just say this. I used to like Tim Pool. I found out about him a couple of years ago when he was on Rogan, and I was quite impressed with him. And at the time, he identified as a progressive liberal. Obviously, that's changed. He's way hard right now. So Tim Pool, one of the ugliest guys on planet Earth, is saying Republicans are hotter than Democrats physically. Ridiculous. Watch this clip from the Young Turks and see what Anna Kasparin has to say about that. It's hilarious.
YouTuber Tim Pool went on a viral rant saying Republicans are hotter than Democrats.
You go to the RNC. And what do you typically see? The dudes are all tall, chiseled, rugged, The women are all slim and busty and attractive. You go to the DNC and what do you see? The guys are all short, frumpy, overweight, and unattractive. And the women are overweight as well. And I was reading something about why that is. And the general idea that I've come up with, because I was reading something about the trend being true. Generally, the Republicans have a skew slightly towards more attractive, and whether or not it's true because of one study is not the point. I will say anecdotally I've witnessed this, and so my conclusion is it's really simple actually. If you're a very tall, deep-voiced, attractive man, you're gonna get through life easier than a short, weak, out of shape man. And you are going to then think, if I could do it on my own, everyone else can too. Or at least you'll be like, I want to be left alone and succeed on my own because I've done better on my own. You take these other people who are unattractive and out of shape and they struggle, so they band together and form collectives and then vote for collectivism because life isn't easy,
That is the definition of a lot going on there. And I want to get your reaction first to just your guttural gut punch reaction to that clip.
I mean, look, I'm definitely not offended by it. I think it's silly, and it's especially rich coming from a guy who's wearing a hoodie in like 120-degree weather. Like, it's so hot right now. Like, it's just, he will not take that beanie off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said hoodie, right? No, I meant beanie. My bad.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm just basing it on anecdotal evidence, but he doesn't give us any of that anecdotal evidence. He says that people at the RNC are like chiseled and ripped.
Chiseled centurions, just like the abs glistening, through their Brooks Brothers Oxford. Anna, you and I are both veterans of the RNC. You've had some run-ins with certain very overweight, sweaty, pig-looking right-wing hosts at the RNC. Would you describe that man as a chiseled, square-jawed, just muscly, veiny guy?
No, I would not. And
Okay.
if you want to go back and watch that interaction, I make it very clear that I do not find him to fit that description in any way. And I stand by that because the description was accurate, the way I described him. Okay, so give me more. I'm curious, where did this come from?
So it's coming from this study, obviously it comes from his anecdotal evidence, of just him staring at the chiseled men. But it also, there's a study that was conducted in 2017. It was published in the Journal of Public Economics, and it concluded that the attractiveness of a candidate does correlate with their politics. They find that politicians on the right are more good looking in Europe, the United States, and Australia. And it starts by pointing out that Republicans are in fact quite shallow. In that sense, the researchers found that Republican voters care more about appearance than Democratic voters do. And it also says that the good-looking Republicans don't care about people because they care so much about themselves. It says, our explanation is that beautiful people earn more, which makes them less inclined to support redistribution. The right look, conservative politicians look better and voters reward it. But this is the part that Tim Pool conveniently left out. The study also points out that voters choose good-looking politicians only when they know little about the candidate. It says that our model of within-party competition predicts that voters use beauty as a cue for conservatism when they do not know much about candidates, and that politicians on the right benefit more from beauty in low-information elections.
Yeah, of course, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Look, unfortunately, looks do matter. And there are certain, I don't know, there's a certain aesthetic that leads people to believe that a candidate is more trustworthy, whatever. I mean, there have been studies on this, but I do want to note, I'm going to be the annoying person commenting on studies by pointing out that in the very first graphic you mentioned, Nando, the word correlate comes up. And cue the annoying YouTube comments that you usually get when you talk about a study. Correlation does not equal causation. Okay, but aside from that, I mean, anecdotal evidence means nothing. And I don't. There are some pretty good-looking right-wingers. There are good-looking right-wingers that I can't stand politically speaking. But let's keep it real. There are some like pretty good-looking left. I think Kristi Noem is very attractive. I think she's a beautiful woman. And so, you know, I think Sarah Palin was also very attractive. Someone pointed to me that despite despising Chad Wolf, that Chad Wolf is also attractive. I hadn't seen it until this was mentioned to me. And even though he's a fascist prick, he's, you know, objectively good looking. So I'll be fair, but there's some serious hotties on the left. Yeah. He looks like David Dole. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. You're a wonderful person. I love David Dole. You should watch his show, but he does look like David Dole. And David Dole's a looker. He is. I've said that on the show before. Yeah. Sorry. No, there's some hotties on the left. You know, this weekend on Jacobin's show, we interviewed Matt Karp. He's super hot. So yeah, anecdotal evidence. I mean, I don't know. When I was at the RNC, I saw a lot of like, you know, barbecue sauce stained shirts with like people who just like to, you know, they twiddle their fingers before they eat something. You know, like they get the box of donuts and they're like, ooh, jelly filled. Oh my god. So look, I think we're fair. I think we acknowledge that anecdotal evidence certainly exists. I'm glad that you got into the study. But it would have been more palatable to hear this argument from someone who's not unattractive, you know? Right. Yeah. I'm just keeping it like it's just. Oh, okay. We're bad people. We're bad. So he does take the beanie off time to time. Yeah, it is mean. It's okay. I can't stand this guy. Okay. So. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You know, just very chiseled men, just walking down the corridors of the RNC. Oh yeah. It couldn't be further from the truth. It just couldn't be further from the truth. Anyway, let's just acknowledge that. I'm not working down the DNC either. No, that's the point, though. I think most people in the political world are either average looking or not so attractive. That's why the attractive ones stand out. Right? I mean, well, and that's why they go. That's why they become actors and celebrities. I mean, that's why they used to always say, like, you know, politics is really just it's Hollywood for ugly people. You know, all the hot ones went to Hollywood and became rich and famous, and you know they don't have to deal with like, you know, lobbyists and fundraising and all that stuff. It's demeaning, horrifying work. You know, only ugly people would do it.
Just totally ridiculous. Tim Pool, not Steven Crowder. You know, you would expect something from a Steven Crowder who's an obnoxious asshole, but you know, he's actually good looking. Tim Pool, short, fat, and bold. It's crazy. And again, I don't want to be mean here, but he opened himself up to this. All right, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.